today our author is Iqbal Ishani, and let me tell you a little bit about him. He was born in Kenya of Indian parents. He was raised across Europe. He won a scholarship to Germany. It just gets more and more interesting. Keep listening. Scholarship to Germany in his teens after being a safari guide. He has a 22-year-long career in German state television. ARD, these are Reuters, so
these are
many stations.
The state TVs,
yes. Yeah, and many worldwide productions. He's fluent in 6 languages. Wow. He's a passionate singer-songwriter, filmmaker, certified medical Qigong guide, Qigong, thank you, Qigong guide, founder of Sleep Like a Baby, and a certified juice guru fasting coach. He's also managing a health and spicy gourmet business. He makes the best hot sauces. If you love hot sauces, he's your hot sauce guy. And he's now following his heart and soul passions as an ebook author. He's written The 21 Gifts of the Energy Teacher, 10 exercises, 10 songs, and 1 fable to calm, connect, and cultivate your chi energy. Please welcome Iqbal Ishani.
So, I'm going to move a little bit over here. It may be out of the, you know what? Wait, I'll do it this way. So, what I'd like to teach you to start with is when I do these exercises, 95% are women, and imagine how many women are here today. So I'm going to start doing 2 exercises. One from the 10. So there's one which is called before you go on stage, before you present, what is really important? Can you give me sort of a feedback, what you need? I'll keep it short.
Being grounded.
Breath. So if you can put your feet parallel, and then you just go down. I'm not going to do this exercise with you. I'm just going to show you. So a Buddhist monk who taught me, we talked about breath, and so this is a breath exercise. It's in my ebook. So you go down like this. Close your eyes first. Don't look at me. Just listen, right? If you can, just feel comfortable. Close your eyes. Open your eyes and watch what I'm doing. So I'm opening the meridians. So it's again down, grounding, opening the meridians, sinking, the energy center. One of them is called the Dantian. So you bring that energy. You do not give your energy out unless you want to. Okay, so that was, I call it diving into oxygen. I'm going to teach another exercise which a lot of people are doing in the US, which is tapping. But I'm going to show you what the monks, the Shiloh monks used to use before they went to war to get them prepared. So if you're going to a meeting or you're writing a book, I'm going to show you an exercise. Okay, so please stand up. So feet are really important. So feel yourself grounded to the earth. It's really nice when you're in nature and without shoes, but let's leave that. And sink a little bit. So the story behind that is if you can sink a little bit just with your knees, your spine is stretched. So it's called standing while you're sitting. You'll understand it when you start doing that. Okay, so then you open up one arm, let's call it the left hand, right? And with the other hand, you start tapping. So the meridian points here, and I'll show you. And turn it around. And here, congratulate yourself for coming here. All right? Open up the other arm. Here. Turn. Congratulate yourself on this side. And then the kidneys. Kidneys are really important for fear. Today, in today's world, it is really important. So here, you've been sitting a lot, right? So it's also have your, and then down as far as you can go, up, inside, so the yang and the yin, and then you stop here. All right, I'm going to do it again with you. Usually you do it really fast in the mornings and you're full of energy. So again, open your hand, make music, and then turn it around. The other hand. Turn it around and back. And one more time. Are you feeling the energy? And the other side. And the back, the kidneys. And finish off here. Sense. The secret that I learned from these monks is how you're feeling now. Can you feel your body? Is there some kind of pulse? That's really what we're trying to do. Qi is energy, and gong, or gong, is the discipline of the exercises. So I'm teaching you really old exercises, which 90 million people are doing this every day. Okay. So now you can relax, and I'm going to play a song.
Awesome.
So keep sensing what has changed. You know, you start off at the beginning, and so I'm born in the colonies, and the colonialists had one system. The system was called divide and rule. I wonder if you recognize that down south right now. And it worked. It worked for a while until people started waking up. So I call this song Belong, You Belong. I seen the way you walk your walk. I seen the way you talk your talk. I seen the way you walk your talk. So let's sing a song about a universal bond. We all know that we are one. So let's sing along with a peaceful song. We all know that we belong. I said, you know, we belong, belong, belong. about a universal wrong. Oh, we all know that we are wrong. Now let's sing along with a peaceful song. Oh, we all know that we belong. Oh, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind. You and all mankind. Oh, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind. Oh, you and all womankind.
Yes. So we've talked a little bit about your background. I think there's some, but give us a little bit more background. You were a safari guide.
So I'm born in Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya, and my grandfather moved to Africa from India. So it was sort of basically 3 generations. He was very young. So I had the Indian tradition because my parents were Indian. I had the African tradition, which was amazing because I grew up with that at school. Then I was a tour guide because I was usually in school. I was never very intelligent with these systems, and but I could mimic voices. I could take on people's accents and stuff like that. So that was my African thing. Then I, as a tour guide, because of the languages, and I love nature and being with the ethnic people, the Maasai and those kind of people, I went around. And then it was, I won a scholarship, as you said, to Germany. So, I was trying to leave Germany. They offered me a job. They were building 60 teams to go around the world. And they said a person who speaks 6 languages would be fitting to the German TV system. And I was non-German, so they could always put me up in front. They always called me, this is our Indian. Unser Inder. And they would, people would say Nazi and all of that, so they would always put me in front. So that was that, and then I made some bad decisions and ended up losing my job in Germany, and my mom said, let's travel to Canada, and as I came to Canada, to British Columbia, I said, this is the nice spot. I would like to grow old here, or young, whatever the thing is. And so that's where I am, and I'm a citizen, and now I'm starting a nice creative journey.
Excellent. And I learned the other day that we've known each other for 8 years.
10.
10 years. Oh, jeez, it gets longer. Okay, 10. We've known each other for 10 years. That's a long time. I didn't realize that. So one thing I know about you, because I have known you for so long, is you are an incredible storyteller. So can you tell us a little bit about you as a storyteller, and how did you develop yourself as a storyteller?
I think storytelling, it was always part of my life. I remember as a 3-year-old, my dad loved music. My granddad was a musician. And we would have these people coming to our house, and I remember as a 3-4-year-old, there would be a guy came from India with a white beard, and he would play this, I don't know whether you know tablas. Do you know tablas? It's like a drum with a little black spot in the middle. And it has a boing, and he took us on journeys. As children, we were fascinated. He'd take us to the moon, and we believed him. We could go to the moon And so that was the Indian tradition that came through with the Vedras and all of that. And the African tradition, I remember also around 4 or 5 was, I was invited, we were in Congo with my mom's brother and in Bukavu. And there, they woke me up, it was like, for me it was early morning, but these Africans came and they had, it was a tribe, and they were playing drums. And I could hear each drum. It was like they were talking, and there must have been about 50 drums. And then people came and danced with torches, with fire. So there was this fire element, the light element, and then this talking drum. So storytelling became, already as a young man, and then I traveled the world many, many times with the state TV. And our job was to listen to other people's stories and make them build a platform for them, so that they would have, they would have their fame or not or whatever. And a lot of them became, amazingly well-known people, because media is a very powerful, was a very powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another way of storytelling. And now I'm into a different form of storytelling.
We had an interesting conversation about storytelling, and I remember you saying to me, talking about storytelling, I mean, people get the technical side of it. Do you remember this conversation? So people understand, the hero's journey, and the people get the storytelling technical. And I said, yeah, but you have the magic of storytelling. And that's something I think you've had from years of having people come around and tell stories and being part of a storytelling tradition.
Yeah.
Which is not the technical side, because everyone knows the story has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
And we all know the hero's journey, but there's more to it, really, in storytelling. There's that magic side.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was that I said at the time.
No, that's okay. But where do you find think about when you were doing film and you were finding other people's stories. Where do you find the magic besides the technical? Where's the magic?
They just grab you from the first word. It's this somehow this subconscious way of grabbing your soul, that you can't let go. You want to know what's going to happen. Yeah. And I've seen so many people, the old African women, the old Indian women, the Indio women, the Maori women, they just grab you with some kind of story that the whale is going to eat you, and you're just waiting whether the whale is really going to eat you or the guy's going to get away. It's going to be a happy ending. And Indian stories are always happy endings, right? So,
oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's talk about your book a little bit.
Yeah.
So how did this book come about?
I don't know. You get to a stage, I suppose, in life. Well, I got to a stage where, how can I best serve? So what are the gifts that I could serve with? And then what is around? And I'm seeing one thing which I was really good at doing was getting rid of fear from people. Before they came to a set, they would talk to us really freely about their lives, but as soon as they saw the team, people would freeze. And so I would be there and I would talk to them calmly and so forth and get that fear out.
Good. Thank you.
And it was so that I see a lot basically in this book. It's people are in fear. If I look at people like Trump and what's happening in that world, it's so many lies and so many. They're doing tactics, or they're using tactics to scare. And so, in the traditional Chinese medicine, if you allow fear to enter your body, does any of you know? You would know where the fear enters into the body, which organ, do you know?
In the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Would it be in the kidneys you're speaking
Yes,
about?
yes. The kidneys. So that's one exercise where I thought, okay, I know these things. I learned this strangely enough. So why not teach that? Or anger. So again, then the music. How do I get people to calm down? And when I'm playing music, or when I'm performing at storytelling events, I find that if I play music, people calm down. It's really strange. They go into a different space. So music in film also is it's great for the emotions. So that was another thing. I thought, okay, that's Qigong, that's music. And then my daughter said, why don't you tell a story? And so that's the story.
Yeah, so it was your daughter.
Yeah, but she said, why don't you, add in the component of storytelling? And I said, what do you mean? She says, well, you used to tell me really nice stories as a kid. And I said, I made them up. I'd see an elephant and I would tell a story about a happy elephant going through the world. And so she said, well, make one up. And as I made this story, and I said, okay, I'll make a story. And so I thought, what am I trying to say in this book? And that is, it's a story about a boy. The first story is about a boy he's angry with his parents are broken down because they lost money, the mother is upset because the father is more abusive, and so this boy is basically, he's addicted to the phone, or he goes into that world and he doesn't come out, and his grandfather comes and realizes that this boy is on the verge of a nervous breakdown or depression, and he doesn't really know what to do, but he remembers an old teacher in the Himalayas who taught him. And so the story starts that way. So he sends him to the Himalayas to this retreat, and there's this teacher, and the boy comes to the retreat, and he sees a man with his feet buried in the earth, and he says, "What's that guy doing?" And the caretaker who's showing him around says, "Oh, he's cleansing himself." And so the boy says, "How can he cleanse himself if his feet are in compost?" So this is how the story sort of is that. So it starts off that way, and the teacher takes him on a journey to try to get him into his darker side, so that once you hit your darker side, which comes as an ancestral problem, or you confront these things, you can start healing. You can start healing your inner being, and that's what I decided to do on the story. And so I have snakes, which the boy gets afraid, so he has to confront the fear, which is then the exercise of the liver, or he's angry or betrayed or lied to, and so he gets really upset. And this is what the teacher wants.
Okay.
To show him, to teach him this,
okay,
or make him aware of.
So there's story and song and exercises, and there are lessons. Would you call this book instructional?
It's like, I remember a doctor, a traditional Chinese doctor who taught me Chinese medicine, she says, you can't tell people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I see this a lot with the paramedics, and they say, when a person's lying there, they say, breathe. It doesn't help you much. So I think breathing, let me take that as an example. So breathing is automated. You're breathing day in, day out while you're sleeping, you're breathing. What is nice, what I would like to be teaching is how deeply you breathe and how to direct your breath into these different organs, into these different blockages. And if you can do that, you become stronger, you open up.
Mm-hmm. Is it about telling people what and how to do, though, or is it more about... I don't get you as the type of person who says, this is the right way, this is it. I see you more as a person who leads through letting people find themselves.
Yeah, and you show, and then you play music, and it's their own fantasy that takes them into whatever world it is. And for some people it takes them into one land, and others it takes them, I forgot to do the shopping for tomorrow. You can't influence that.
Yeah.
But you can try and get them into a good space.
Yeah. What is the promise of your book then?
Healing. Yeah, it's if I could help people heal, finding, like there's a piece of music which is 10 minutes earth, and it's basically a lot of the sounds are grounding. So when you're listening to this music, it has no words. It's just music. It's like Pink Floyd sort of energy, and then you just listen and you let this. And I have birds, which I found in Italy. Beautiful birds that were singing. They were so happy, and I thought, okay, that's going to be a nice sound to the earth sound. So it's birds and music.
So healing. The promise is to help you on your journey of healing.
Healing. Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay.
If people get that and they can download it. It's nice. Ebook you can download.
Yes. Yeah.
Wherever you are in the world.
Yeah. What was your journey like as a first-time author?
I'm just starting. I don't know whether I consider myself an author. I just know myself as a mensch, a human being trying to express through one medium, which is a book or an ebook.
What was the journey to get this book out? What was that journey like for you?
It was fun. It was fun because one of the big things was in getting the book out was I'm not a writer, right? So that's a question that I'm a really trained in the audio visual world. That's all I've really done and good at. So in formulating, like some people like you, I remember you did a little menu for me for my hot sauces, and you made it so delicious. Sound so delicious. I was salivating and thinking, oh my God, and so that's how you put the mango to use with like it's like a hot date, and you put all these words in, and I'm not good at that. So I found someone who could help me with that. So that was a journey, which finding the right person who can actually get into your psyche, what you're trying to do and say. Whereas,
was that your greatest challenge? That you didn't feel like you could write?
Yeah.
And here you were writing a book?
Yeah. Well, I saw it as a film. I saw the whole thing as a film. Yeah, and I saw all the parts of how the boy is meeting and what the teacher's going to look like. I had this all in my, and what the words would be coming out. And this editor or ghostwriter, Kirsten just made it shorter and more precise and I think hopefully understandable.
Okay.
And
so from that experience, if there are other people who don't feel like they're writers, what are some lessons you can pass on about that?
Get a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like you're constantly on someone's face. Today's world, you can record something and talk to them on the phone and keep talking till and I kept hitting on certain ideas about what would be, how can I pressure this young man into breaking up to the stage where he really feels betrayed or jealous, and this jealousy part comes out of him, right? And then what does he do with that?
Yeah. Okay. So hire a ghostwriter, someone who.
If you can't do it yourself, whereas if I do the camera, I do the music, I am physically doing it. Whereas the writing part, I'm not good at it, so you have to accept that and say, okay, that's not my as you say here, my forte, right? That's not my forte.
That's right. Okay, excellent. Back to storytelling, because I'm asking for advice. Do you have advice for authors in storytelling?
I don't know. What I'm following there's so many wise people here in this part of the world, like the Americas and Canada. And I hear it's like, they're saying something which at the beginning I thought made nonsense, but it's finding your passion. It's really finding what gets you angry or what upsets you or what would you like to give back. And one thing I always remember with one of the screenplay writers in the States, with Maximilian Schell, was he said that, in writing, in screenplay writing, you get angry with somebody and you wish you could answer them with saying, you son of a bitch, how could you say it? And then you go home and you say, oh my God, that's what I should have said. And that, for me, is writing. You can come back to that and say, you know what, that was a situation, and I'd like to put my 2 cents or 1 cent or nonsense into that, you know.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Do you have another book in you?
Yeah, this one was for the boy, and I want to empower women, like my daughter. I want to, she isn't empowering, but I want to empower women. So exercises for women, how they can strengthen themselves. You know, if someone is coming at them, how to behave. Like Barbara, who was one of my main teachers, she's a doctor. She showed us some amazing exercises, and she was a tiny woman, but she could carry a 6'2" guy, and just carry him like a piece of paper. And we always wondered how she's doing that. And so these are exercises of grounding and tightening your body and your muscles and your bones, so you can actually prepare and sync. So if you're connected with the earth, it's very hard for someone else to push you over. You know, it's like there's a story which a master says that it's like if you can be like a bamboo tree, you know, like if someone pushes you, you go back, and then you come back to your position and you get your strength back. You don't fall over.
Yeah.
You just bend and come back.
Thank you. Where can we get your book?
I've got Mark Coker, who's the publicist. He's at smashwords.com, and I'm in there because I didn't know how to go about doing that, so I thought this would be my experimental book. And he takes 49% or something, but he told me quite openly that he's going to take around 50%. So I said, fine, I'll be happy with the other 50%, or not. It's getting to be known, getting it out there. What was the question?
Where can we get your book?
Yes, Smashwords. I'm getting it into the library so people can download it for free, which would be great. But I went to the library this morning, and they, in West Van where I live, and the lady says, "Oh, you can't, we can't give your book to anyone." And I said, "Why?" And I said, "Because it's on hold." Well, what's the point of electronics if you can't, 100 people can download it? It's weird. But
They only have a license like
Yeah.
a book, so if they buy one license, then when that book is out, nobody else can have it. They have to, it's to protect writers' income.
Yeah.
So they buy a license for each book, so if they buy 5 electronic books of you, they can check 5 out. So it's for your protection.
Oh, well, but it doesn't help the people who are asking me how do they get the book.
Yes, true. Depends on whether you want to protect yourself or get the book out, I suppose.
I want to get the book out so that people...
The plant paradox at the library here has a hold of 39 people on, so.
Yeah.
Not very effective.
Does anyone have any questions for Iqbal?
I want to know what happened to your book on salsa you were going to write.
Melanie helped me with this thing, but it was just, for me, it's like, I'm not a businessman per se, but I had to survive. And, I didn't want to be a starved artist, so you do food, right? And so, and
That's why I was
it's
surprised
there.
that was the book you were gonna write first.
Yeah, but it's there, and then I wanted to make videos of how to make, how to use the sauce when you're doing a chicken souffle, or how you could add the sauce in. Then I thought, so many people, like, she's great, she's got, a lot of people got wonderful stuff, and I thought, it'd be better to do something with health.
Yeah.
One doesn't preclude the other.
Yeah, I mean, I can see myself going into it, making juices, which I certified in with this group, and doing really healthy, like, David Wolf has got, a lot of people like him are just in Noni Land, and they are producing stuff which is really good for the body, to keep you healthy and fit. And if I could get people into that longevity space and do the exercises, I do that. I drink a really nice juice, and then with kale and stuff, and then I do my exercises. Spread it in my body.
Any other questions? Yes, Teresa?
So is it strictly a written book, or do you incorporate the music and video in it? Is it a combined multimedia like Bee's project was multimedia?
I haven't seen Bee's work yet.
Yeah.
You've talked about it. Basically, it's just a link, and just download it. And what I've understood is that the links, you can just click on it and it opens up into a YouTube video for the exercises, like the diving into oxygen, the one I showed you at the beginning with the breath. All of these exercises are videoed, very simply done. And then the music is another link, it's a blue link, you click on that, you listen to that and download it forever, you know, and you can just, yeah. And then there's the story which is written,
So yes, it's multimedia.
multifaceted,
Yeah.
because I'm a multimedia guy. So
Yes.
it would be nice to.
Any final questions? No? Awesome. We will take a break. Thank you very much, Iqbal.